The dry grasslands, the wild acacias, and the dust swirling in the wind are the unmistakable sights beneath the vast African sky, an endless savanna that stretches as far as the eye can see. Here, life is harsh, unforgiving, yet breathtaking. It is in this rhythm of survival where one of nature's greatest stories unfolds. And if you want to keep discovering these powerful stories, make sure to subscribe and leave a like right now, so you never miss what's coming. This is the home of the wildebeest, a strange creature that looks like a mix between a cow, a horse, and a deer. Its face, as if hastily assembled, hides a truth far greater. It is the heartbeat of East Africa's ecosystem. Subscribe to follow their journey, because this is only the beginning. Every year, more than 1.5 million wildebeest embark on a colossal journey across the vast lands of Kenya and Tanzania. Alongside them, hundreds of thousands of zebras and gazelles march on, following the rhythm of nature itself, a sight so unique that you must hit the subscribe button if you truly want to witness it again. It is a movement so massive, so relentless, that it has been called one of the most extraordinary migrations on Earth, the Great Wildebeest Migration, a spectacle of nature filled with majesty, tension, tragedy, and wonders. Remember to like and subscribe, because this story deserves to be seen to the very end. Each step of this journey is a battle between life and death. From the dry Serengeti plains in Tanzania to the lush borders of the Masai Mara in Kenya. Along the way, they must face raging rivers full of crocodiles, burning hot plains, storms, diseases, and predators lurking in the shadows. Subscribe now, because what these animals endure will leave you speechless. No wildebeest has a calendar hanging from a tree, no ticking clock tied to its legs. Yet every year, with astonishing precision, they move together, as if the very savanna itself calls them, as if the earth whispers to them through the wind, the soil, and the distant scent of rain. And when the call comes, the great journey begins. Stay with us. Subscribe and like before we continue, because what lies ahead in this odyssey will change the way you see the wild forever. When the rains arrive, the grass begins to sprout, and it becomes food for the herds. But when that grass is gone, they must move again. This is not a choice. It is destiny, a fate they are bound to follow. And if you want to keep following this epic journey, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like right now. In the first months of the year, in Ngorongoro and the southern Serengeti, the rains fall and young grass grows. This is the moment of birth. In just a few weeks, almost 500,000 wildebeest calves come into the world, a mass miracle, but also the beginning of a long ordeal. Subscribe now, because what happens next is both brutal and astonishing. These newborns must rise and run within minutes, for predators stalk them from the very first breath. Lions, hyenas, cheetahs, all waiting. But the wildebeest have one advantage. They give birth almost at once, thousands upon thousands of calves flooding the plains together. This sheer number overwhelms the predators, ensuring many will survive. A miracle of survival you don't want to miss. So make sure you're subscribed. As the seasons shift and the rains abandon the southern Serengeti, the green savanna turns into a dry, cracked, dusty land. The grass fades and the signal is clear. It is time to move, with millions of hooves striking the earth. Clouds of dust rise into the air, and from above the herds resemble a living river, flowing northward. Hit like and subscribe, because the river of life is just beginning to move. Migration is not a single day's event. It is a journey of thousands of kilometers, lasting almost the entire year. A circular route, always chasing the rains, always chasing water. And through this endless march, wildebeest have no single leader, no commander giving orders. They move as one, guided by the whispers of nature itself, as if an entire herd shares a single mind. Don't miss the next step of this odyssey. Subscribe and join us in this journey across Africa. Along the way, each herd may hold hundreds of thousands of individuals, wildebeest, zebras, gazelles, bound together in this timeless rhythm of survival. They move together, but not in a straight line. Instead, they form intricate patterns, waves that constantly adjust direction, speed, and the distance between each individual. This living formation is carefully calculated. If they move too close, they collide. But if they spread too far apart, they become easy targets for predators. Stay with us, and don't forget to subscribe, because the dangers are only just beginning. What is truly astonishing is that wildebeest possess a kind of biological navigation. They can smell the rain from miles away, read the direction of the wind, and even recognize landscapes they have crossed in years before. All of this without maps, without GPS, without a single guiding voice. If you want to keep following their journey, hit like and subscribe now. But one of the greatest challenges of the migration is the crossing of the Mara River. This is no ordinary river. Its currents are strong, its banks steep, and within its waters lurk giants. Nile crocodiles, massive beasts that can grow over 5 meters long, with jaws powerful enough to snap through the body of an adult wildebeest in a single bite. Subscribe so you don't miss what happens next, because the crossing is about to begin. From a distance, the Mara can look calm, its waters glittering beneath the sun. But for the herds that arrive after weeks of marching, the river's edge is no place to rest. When they finally reach the bank, they do not rush to cross. They stand there, thousands of wildebeest pressing against each other, staring, waiting. None of them want to be the first, because they all know the truth. Beneath the surface of this peaceful water, death is waiting. For the crocodiles of the Mara, this is the season they live for. They lie motionless for months, waiting for this moment, for the thunder of hooves to return. And when the herds gather at the riverbank, the water itself seems to pulse with tension. The crocodiles are ready. They feel the vibrations through the current, their predatory instincts awakening. Don't miss what happens when predator and prey finally collide. Subscribe now and join us for the crossing of the Mara. For the crocodiles, this moment is everything, because today could be a great feast or a season of hunger. Stay with us, and don't forget to subscribe, because what comes next is chaos. The crossing never begins with a plan. There is no leader. It usually starts with a single wildebeest, one that stumbles or leaps in panic, and in an instant, the rest follow. What was calm just seconds before explodes into mayhem. Thousands of wildebeest charge down the steep banks, eyes wide with terror, leaping into the river below. Give this journey a like and subscribe so you don't miss what happens in the heart of this chaos. In just 2 minutes, peace turns into a living hell. Hundreds can die in a single crossing. Some are crushed under the weight of the herd, others dragged beneath the surface by crocodiles, others collapse from exhaustion or injury. Yet still, they cross. Year after year, they hurl themselves into danger. Because on the other side of the river lies survival. On the other side lies life. Subscribe now to follow them to the northern grasslands, but the migration of the wildebeest is more than just a deadly journey. As they move across the plains, they carry with them something far greater, the gift of renewal. With every bite, they rip grass from its roots. With every hoof, they tear open the soil. And with every step, they fertilize the land. What may look like destruction is in truth rebirth. Like farmers plowing the earth before planting, wildebeest unknowingly prepare the soil for the rains, and when the rains finally come, the ground drinks deeply, fresh grass sprouts faster, and the cycle of life begins anew. Don't forget to subscribe, because this is not just migration. This is nature's great renewal. Even their dung is not waste. It is filled with nitrogen and nutrients. It enriches the soil, feeds insects and countless microorganisms. On a massive scale, wildebeest shape the food chain, sustaining the fragile balance of the savanna. And this balance is what keeps Africa alive. Hit like and subscribe, because the story of the savanna is far from over. The land of predators, lions, cheetahs, hyenas, African wild dogs, and leopards all share one desire. They crave the flesh of the wildebeest, and the Great Migration is nothing less than an annual feast, one that no predator dares to miss. If you're enjoying this journey, remember to like and subscribe, because the hunt is only just beginning. But predators, too, face their own challenges. They cannot strike at random. They must choose carefully. The weak, the sick, or those left behind. And so the wildebeest have learned to fight back, not with claws or fangs, but with strategy. They run tightly packed in herds, making it harder for predators to single out a victim. They avoid open plains at night, where pursuit is easy. They even form wave-like patterns, creating chaos and confusion for their hunters. Subscribe now to see how survival in the wild is a battle of numbers, strategy, and instinct. Even the predators must be cautious. Attacking a massive herd can mean serious injury, and in the wild, one wound can mean certain death. The migration is not a journey of a single species. Along the way, the wildebeest are joined by zebras and gazelles, forming an extraordinary alliance of the plains. Together, they complement each other. Zebras graze on the tall, coarse grasses. Once the field is trimmed, wildebeest follow, feeding on the shorter, fresher growth. And after them, gazelles pick at the softest new shoots. What looks like competition is in fact cooperation written into nature's code. And when danger strikes, this alliance becomes even more powerful. Zebras, with their sharp vision, often sound the first alarm. Wildebeest, in overwhelming numbers, create confusion that shields the herd. Gazelles, agile and lightning fast, escape on their own, slowing predators in the chase. From afar, the great herds may look like chaos, but in truth, they are a living orchestra, each species playing its role, each movement part of a greater symphony. Don't miss the next act of this drama. Hit like and subscribe to stay in the heart of the migration. Far to the north, in the Masai Mara, fresh tall grass awaits after the seasonal rains. At last the wildebeest can rest and recover after weeks of relentless travel. Here they graze by day and night, seizing the bounty of the land. They rebuild their strength, storing energy for what is yet to come. And for the pregnant females, this lush land is a promise of survival for the next generation. This is a period of recovery and renewal, yet always one of vigilance. For even in the lush grasslands of the north, peace does not exist. Here, predators are more numerous, human activity and tourism more intense, and parasites like tsetse flies and ticks rise in numbers. Threatening the health of the herds, danger never disappears, not even at the journey's end. And if you want to keep exploring this relentless struggle, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps bring you deeper into the heart of the wild. In these northern lands, the males enter the breeding season, known as the rut. Here, stallions clash for territory, fighting to win the right to mate. They call out with deep voices, they patrol fiercely, and they battle their rivals with raw strength. The act itself may be swift, but it drains their energy, for the ultimate goal is clear: to leave the females pregnant before the herds begin their long march back south, ensuring that new calves are born when the grass is at its richest in the year to come. After months in the north, usually from July to October, the wildebeest wait. They wait for a signal written not in words, but in rain. As the Masai Mara grass begins to wither, and the smell of wet earth rises in the southern horizon, the herds know it is time. They turn once again, retracing their path back south, facing once more the rivers, the predators, the same trials they crossed before. Migration is never-ending, a loop of survival carved into the very soul of Africa. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button now. The story of life here is too powerful to miss. But make no mistake, this is no homecoming, as humans would call it. The wildebeest have no single home, no village to return to, and yet they know. In the south, the rains will fall again, the grass will grow again, and there, the next generation will be born into the eternal rhythm of survival. When night falls and the savanna cools under fresh rains, pregnant females step into the wet thickets, and there in silence they give birth. New life opens its eyes to a world of peril and beauty, a world where every breath is borrowed from the wild. Stay with us, like and subscribe, because this cycle never stops, and its story is one you must witness. Every 5 minutes, a new life begins to cry, to struggle, and to search for its mother's milk. Calves take their first trembling steps on soil still damp with rain, learning to balance, to stand on legs not yet steady. And if you want to keep following these incredible moments, don't forget to like and subscribe. It keeps this journey alive. This birth is no accident. It is a plan written by nature itself. The southern Serengeti holds the richest nutrients after the rains, making it the perfect cradle for nursing mothers and for calves in desperate need of nourishment. And as before, the miracle unfolds all at once. Around 500,000 calves are born in less than a month, a living explosion of life rivaled only by the salmon runs of North America or the hatching of sea turtles on tropical beaches. Subscribe now, because this rhythm of life is one of the greatest wonders of our planet. Yet unlike other animals, wildebeest are not born to stay still. They are born to move, to march, to follow the scent of rain. Within 5 minutes, a newborn stands, trembling on unsteady legs. Within 1 hour, it can already run. Keeping pace with the herd, it is survival through motion, written into their very bones. If you haven't yet, hit that like button. This is the living pulse of the savanna, Through spring, these calves grow strong. They drink milk. They play with one another. But when the season shifts, the time for play ends. They must walk thousands of kilometers, following the endless cycle of migration. The wildebeest may not appear beautiful in the human sense, with large heads, tangled manes, and sloping backs. They look almost hastily put together. But do not be fooled, for behind this strange appearance lies one of nature's most perfect survival designs. Long legs carry them across vast distances, strong and tireless. Wide nostrils help cool their bodies under extreme heat. Eyes set wide on the sides of their heads give them nearly 360 degrees of vision, an essential shield against lurking predators. Their stomachs, expert ruminants, turn even the driest grass into life, granting them survival where other herbivores would starve. If this fascinates you, subscribe and like, because the deeper we go, the more secrets the savanna reveals. When they move together in colossal herds, the thunder of their hooves shakes the very ground. A vibration felt miles away, and from above, the living river of Wildebeest stretches across the horizon, a reminder that life here never pauses. It only moves forward. From above, the herd looks like a dark river, flowing, moving, breathing, and thinking as a single, colossal body. To witness this is to see the heartbeat of the wild itself. If you want to keep exploring these raw truths of nature, don't forget to subscribe and like. It helps bring more of these stories to life. Many observers, upon first seeing wildebeest, dismiss them as foolish creatures. They circle aimlessly, make sudden decisions, or appear to panic without reason. Yet what seems like chaos is in fact the product of thousands of years of adaptation to a merciless land, and to predators that never forgive a mistake. Subscribe now, because every detail of their survival is a lesson carved by time. They follow the wind, they read the scent of the soil, they chase moisture and the aroma of fresh grass. This is not instinct alone, it is collective intelligence. Within the herd, no single wildebeest decides, but together they make choices more precise than any lone individual could. And if you're still here, captivated, hit that like button and subscribe. Join this journey through nature's greatest drama. When obstacles rise before them, rivers, cliffs, dry plains, the herd spreads out, evaluates, adapts. From the outside, it may look like chaos, a storm of movement without control. But in truth, this unique behavior makes their migration remarkably flexible, allowing them to survive in ways no rigid plan ever could. Their routes shift from year to year, bending to climate, to storms, to disasters beyond their control, always moving, always enduring. And that's why you should subscribe, because this story of survival is far from over.